GSL.
My conscience is telling me.
We're back, and we're ready for the final best of 3 in today's group. Group F. I just realized I've been calling it Group E all day. This is Group F, guys.
You get an F.
I got an effort. It's going to come down to ByuL or Fantasy. I think we can all agree we'd be fine with either of these guys going on just based on what kind of players they are, but we do want some more Zergs in round of 16 ideally.
And I mean, he got round of 2, finals last season against Rain. ByuL was just on fire. I'd love to see him with another streak like that. Fantasy, on the other hand, I look at him, I'm like, I love to watch him play. He's a very good player. He's getting better and better at StarCraft II, continuing to improve. But I don't see him getting out of the round of 16 if he makes it there. I truly, truly do not.
That's right. I think you got that spot on, Artosis. Now, also keep in mind, ByuL was able to watch Fantasy play in the previous match. Definitely taking some notes there. Will Fantasy be able to mix it up? Will he just be so solid it doesn't matter what ByuL knows? Well, we're going to find out soon. Our map lineup will be Coda, Terraform, and Expedition Lost.
All right, well, Coda is fresh in the minds of both players. That was what Fantasy just ended up winning on, so we'll see how that one goes. Same bans coming out of Fantasy. ByuL going ahead and getting rid of Echo and Vonnie. Very smart maps to remove.
The game is now loading up. One of these 2 players is about to be eliminated. The other will survive to the round of 16 in the GSL Code S.
HOT6 GSL 시즌 3.
HOT6.
In the upper left, in the red, he is
CJ 엔투스 별.
in the bottom right, in the blue, he is
데드 픽셀스 판타지.
Okay.
Tosis.
Yes, Tasteless.
What the devil? Oh my God.
Not surprised, to be honest. Like, I was actually
We're gonna
thinking to
have
myself
proxy racks.
that I really think Fantasy, having not used double proxy racks yet, this is the time. Like, not necessarily this game, but I thought in this series, especially against ByuL, someone's so good, you gotta try to pick up a win like this. Like, ByuL is better than Sleep. This is going to be tough. And he does go pool first, which is the right thing to do against double proxy racks. That doesn't necessarily mean it's an auto hold. You definitely...
No, you can still screw up.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Marine
seen
stutter step micro is pretty strong.
We've seen Zergs go speedling before hatchery and still lose to double proxy racks. It can happen. It's a powerful build that Fantasy is using here.
There is the soon-to-be rushed hatchery. ByuL's Overlord is not far from where Fantasy's base is, but so far, he has no idea that this is a double proxy Rex. He might suspect it, but he has no evidence.
Yeah. And without evidence, you cannot... Well, I mean, I guess you can just counter it. You can blind counter it. But,
that should be enough to tell.
Yeah, that's enough that he's like, oh.
He's like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's
it's
weird.
Like, there could have been a barracks next to that, but there's
Where's
not.
this barracks?
All right, drone coming out to check, and we'll see an SCV here and a Marine. That Marine could only come out of a barracks, which was within proximity to your base.
Dun, 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 dun.
Proxy racks.
Proxy racks.
Proven.
Until unproven. Oh!
Wow.
Almost got that
in.
Marine, but hey, he's going to be able to get this bunker. That's not going to finish in time. Morling's being cranked out right now. Second bunker started again now. And it's going to come right over here. Can he get a surround here on these Marines? The Marines aren't going to be able to go back into the bunker.
But you know
There's
what?
only one SCV here. Where's the other
Really?
SCVs?
Really nice by ByuL there.
There's no SCVs.
Yeah, if there's not SCVs,
There's not more bunkers.
yeah, it's really quite nice. So, I mean, this is tough, but he still has a bunker to fall back to. But once that spine gets into position, things become a lot harder.
I think this is just a hold.
I think you probably are right.
I don't even know. This is like the most half-assed bunker rush.
Well, you definitely didn't overcommit with the SCVs.
Yeah, that's
a
true.
fact.
But you know, if you do a bunker rush and you don't kill any workers really, or any, or the hatchery, more importantly, it's not good. Another SCV has come over here to start making this bunker. Queen soaking a little bit of damage here for the time being.
A little bit of miss micro there. He's not burrowing this spine. He needs it burrowed. Like, he might actually be able to get this tasteless.
My God.
That was a little bit sloppy there. He's going to be able to transfuse it once, but that's
He needs
it.
to transfuse it!
You know what? Like, there's still chances here for this to end up working. That's a low health spine crawler.
Well, I mean,
That's a glass is half empty spine crawler right now.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, really, it's going to be up to ByuL to be hyper vigilant and immediately react if these Marines come forward like this.
Still, it's a lot of Marines. He's continuing to produce said Marines and gets the spine.
Now,
Slow Zerglings and Queens, not good against mass Marines.
Well, he's going to try to come forward again. Problem is these Marines can't heal either. You got to remember that. So, I mean, every hit they take, and they are always going to take a few extra queen hits as they're running away.
Oh, a couple of really red Marines. Oh, one does get picked off there. He's still producing, though. Still putting that pressure on. Yeah, you are right. They're not like Reapers here.
Yep.
Ooh, a little bit of
nice
nice
shot.
micro.
Still making a lot of drones. Going to send another queen down here to defend. I mean, I think you only need queens at this point in time.
Yeah,
you don't need more
much.
lings. So it's 22 SCVs to 32 drones. The 2 barracks, by the way, are still there.
He's sending 2 Marines home, though,
Okay.
so yeah, the barracks going to follow as well.
Problem
Solo, you know what? He did all right with this rush at the end of the day. He's killed a spine. He's killed a bunch of lings, some queens. Still putting pressure
Does Zerg
on.
try to do any kind of counterattack here? I mean, that's going to be a lot less time to make Marines as those barracks have to float all the way back across the map.
You know, I don't think that there's going to be a ground counterattack. I feel like this is probably going to be like a very fast Spire because his like.
Oh, that's a good point because he doesn't have a lot of anti-air.
Yeah, the Marine Rush like lasted long enough that there's a pretty decent chance he can get some damage in with those mutas and really get a tempo advantage at the least.
Terran's going for 2 command centers behind this, so he's going to have one at his expansion, but he's also going to have another one, so it'll be 3 total. Oh, the micro is real. He needs to move those queens up. Now that will eventually burn down, and he should be if he uses queens.
Do you mean get salvaged?
Yeah, look at that.
Because I think that's what you meant. Because I've never seen a bunker on creep burn down.
I think they need to be able to salvage a little bit faster, Ortosis. That's my 2 cents.
I miss it being 100%. I think every building Terran has should be able to be salvaged.
It's like Command and Conquer.
That way we can truly re-enjoy Happy's games from Warcraft 3.
Yes. And that is going to be the end of the Terran Tyranny and bunker rushes.
Indeed. At least for now. Until
To be
possibly
continued.
next game. Well, that Spire is over halfway done right now. Tech continuing to be added here for Fantasy. Getting that armory at the time being.
And now we have this armory starting here, and it's going to be mech play. However, keep in mind what we were saying earlier is that, you know, post this rush, you don't have a lot of anti-air.
Yeah.
We should have about 8 mutas starting up here, 8 or 9. Oh, sick.
Yeah, as many mutas as he can get at this point are going to be really, really nice. We should see a Thor started really soon, as soon as that armory's done.
Most ASAPly, because
Yeah.
I mean, he's still got a little ways to go, but this Overseer is going to get a very good idea of exactly where Fantasy is at as far as anti-air goes.
Yeah, that little changeling going to go ahead and keep an eye on the turret. Oh, I guess not. That was his intention.
So now we have double Ebo Chamber and the Roach Warren starting here. Those mutas have almost all hatched. And they are going to be headed right down here to the second base to see if they can't get behind these minerals, maybe take out that turret and start killing some SCVs.
Yeah, and let's not forget, there's a lot of places to defend right now. Love that Overlord actually spreading some creep here. This is going to allow him to pick off that Viking and keep the Overlord. Best case scenario right there.
Oh, I don't know about this.
I think he's deciding that because he went, caution. Yeah, he's like, okay, there's going to be defense everywhere. I'm just going to harass everything that's possible. I mean, that barracks obviously not worth much in the grand scheme of things. He has 2. Doesn't need 2. He just needs 1 so he can build factories or add-ons, but we'll see what the mutas can get done. Nice little pick-off.
Yeah, got to avoid those Thor missiles, though. Hellions looping around now. They're going to go ahead and try to seize the 4th base on the map here. And actually a great job so far here by ByuL.
Yeah.
I mean, these are so softened up. Most of these Hellions aren't even able to get to the drones. Yeah, some of them don't even get shots fired there.
Yeah. That's a best case scenario against that.
I think he actually, if he gets enough roaches next, I think he can do an attack over here on the 3rd base and force Terran to lift.
I do think you are correct, sir. It's this 3rd base is a little bit too fast. He's not really being that careful with it, and we actually saw this in his mech game on Expedition Lost against Sleep that he ended up losing. Like, trying to take that 3rd base before you're quite ready. You know, he committed so early to the double barracks rush that didn't quite do enough for him.
Oh, this is good. Get that armory.
Oh, man. That was
huge. Get that, please. Oh, no. You got it.
Amazing.
Yeah, add-on is really good. It's too bad. I was thinking maybe if he could just go ham on that, he could get that upgrade. But I guess that's going to be really close. Least. Yeah.
SCV kills are good.
Burrow being upgraded, Tosis.
This is... I don't think he can hold on to everything everywhere at once. He's got only 3 siege tanks and 2 Thors with 4 Vikings. Like, between roaches with speed coming from multiple angles as well as mutas.
And 1-1's going to be done here.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Shrekkenhead.
Oh, man.
Okay, how did not more die here? All right. I was like, are 4 actually going to get away? This is craziness. Whoops.
All right, this is really good of him to do, to put out these
depots
buildings.
Up there. Yeah,
really smart moves.
Problem is, there's just not enough siege tanks to cover this whole area, you know?
Yeah. Able to move in a little bit here. All this poking is
roaches are coming in.
Yeah, makes him walk way around, but you know what? He's going to go ahead and do it, realizing he has so many more roaches than his opponent can deal with, and Fantasy just doing too much at once here.
He's saying the only fantasy here was the one that you had about going to the GSL Code S round of 16, buddy.
Wow. Well, he was shooting for the ByuLs, but it didn't end up working out for him that game.
Nice. All right, ByuL completely shut that down.
Yeah, that was really good play by ByuL. You know, really on top of it that game every step of the way. Good hold on that bunker rush. You know, Fantasy has to be looking at this like, oh man, this guy is actually too good.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see another bunker rush here. Maybe we will, though. I don't know. Fantasy usually does prep pretty well for a best of 3, but you know what? ByuL made that look like easy peasy. Now, remember, that was a bunker rush into mech. There is a long window where you're not really producing at the rate you want to be producing at, especially if that bunker rush does not kill that hatchery.
All right, our next map going to be Terraform. Let's see how he's going to go ahead and deal with this map. You think we're going to see mech from Fantasy again?
I think we are, Tosis.
Think mech every game?
I think mech every game.
All right.
Question is ByuL going to show us a way to beat the style that Flash made so good? Let's find out. Again, guys, the winner of this best of 3 goes on to the round of 16. The loser, story is over. They are out of the GSL.
That's right. We'll have to play in Code A next time. We'll see if they make it back.
Yeah, we'll see. Our game is now lit up. Guys, tell your friends to tune in for what might be our final game, but what certainly is our final series, ByuL versus Fantasy here in the GSL.
시즌 3.
In the bottom right, in the red, he is...
CJ 엔투스 결.
In the upper left in the blue, he is.
스테르 픽셀스 판타지.
Okay.
Special thanks to our sponsors.
Indeed. HOT6 back for another great season of the Code S.
The Code S.
That's right.
Now, what will Fantasy do? We're both saying he's probably going to mech. I think he probably will. But is mech good on this map? That's another thing you got to ask yourself. This is a map where you can very easily be counterattacked, excuse me, and mech players do not like that.
Yeah, that is true. There's definitely some. It's kind of choky though, right? There's no super wide open areas.
Also, I think if you go mech, you can take the gold base and probably cover it pretty well.
Yeah,
put
as your
a siege
fourth,
tank
you could
back
take
there.
that.
You can hold that.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. We'll see though, because I mean, Fantasy does have good bio play. Sleep kind of like pushed him to the limit there for a little bit in that game, but Fantasy knows what he's doing with both styles.
Fantasy was somebody in Brood War who made mech really work, and in the later parts of StarCraft
Mech worked for him. He didn't work for Mech.
Yes. He made it work very well against Zerg players. A lot of people were saying for a while that was kind of like a form of cheese. It was a gimmick. It wasn't that effective. It wasn't worth doing.
Yeah.
You're just trying to play the game in a way that people don't normally play, so they don't know what they're really dealing with when they're fighting you. But he was, winning Star Leagues with it, man.
Yeah, definitely a multiple-time champion.
The first time I moved to Korea, the time I moved to Korea, it's like I've moved here and left and come back, but when I first moved here and got to see my first live StarCraft match, it was Fantasy.
Oh, wow.
Playing in against, now I can't remember who he played against, but it was TVZ. It might have been Fantasy against Effort.
Could have been.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember. Actually, my first live
You
match
can look
in
up those
Korea
games
was...
somewhere and you can see me eating a hot dog. There's like a brief moment where like I'm on camera and I'm eating a hot dog.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was a good hot dog.
I'll have to add that to my footage of you eating hot dogs.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of it.
I certainly do. Actually, my first match when I moved down here, a couple days after I got here, went down to Busan on the beach.
Oh,
and
yeah.
watched the Pro League finals. It was pretty sick.
There's always great events for esports in the beach in Busan.
Beach is just a great place. All beaches everywhere are pretty awesome.
Yeah, for the most part, beaches are pretty good.
Yeah. We have a factory on the way. Speed coming up for ByuL relatively quick here.
Now, let's not forget, Fantasy was really good at gunning down Overlords. You know that ByuL's going to be very, very careful about that. Oh, they're looking. They're looking.
They want an Overlord, but ByuL has split them up from where Fantasy guessed they would be. 22 Speedlings on the way.
Oh, I like this.
He might be able to get some damage done. Fantasy isn't used to this. Remember what we were talking about.
Fantasy doesn't have a bunker, man.
Yeah, he's playing just like he played against Sleep, where we said that, like, if Sleep had happened, because Sleep had just gotten speed, if he had happened to just make, like, 20 lings, he would have killed all the Marines. And here we are, and Fantasy doesn't have any defense against this. He could be in a lot of trouble here.
Oh, my God. Oh, he sees it. The Lings are going to try to go in here and get a surround. Going to get the surface area. Oh, almost, actually.
Good
oh,
defense,
wow. Whoa,
really.
that was like the best possible defense.
Yeah,
that was like so perfect. Wow.
That worked out for Fantasy
Oh,
super
my
well.
God. He didn't even lose a Hellion.
That's pretty insane, because that's a move that could have done some significant damage. Like, I mean, he didn't lose a single worker there. There's so many that are like one hit left, but they all lived, so I guess Fantasy is completely fine, and ByuL made a bunch of Lings that didn't do anything, so now Fantasy, he has to be feeling good. He has to be like, all right, I'm in the lead, sick.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing great.
That could have been so good for ByuL. Wow.
And you can't count out Fantasy with control that he has. I mean, he's really good.
Well,
I thought that was going to go much better. I think he probably should have waited until just at the bush, because the Hellions could have actually gone into the bush, and boom, Lings come out and kill it.
yeah. Oh, well, didn't quite work out for ByuL there. I wouldn't say that Fantasy is so far ahead that he's just going to win the game, though. This is scary, though.
Oh, this is actually pretty scary, Artosis. I mean,
yeah, he has a couple transfusions for this. Okay, he does counterattack a little bit there. That doesn't look like it's really going to do anything, but are there going to be enough links? 20 links on the way.
The thing is, he can actually micro this to a certain degree if he picks up the weakened Hellbats. But
Yeah,
he's not going to do that, it looks like.
There's some really good targeting going on by ByuL, and look at that. He actually focuses down every Hellbat first, and look at that. That's the difference between his type of defense and many other Zergs.
He's trying to get this medevac there in the back.
Yeah, really good focus fire, really great targeting there.
Spire coming now, so it's going to be 2-base layer play for the time being.
It's a good defensive play. One of those queens getting pretty red, Tasteless.
Yep. And Lings are going to come up here. That queen is so low. Nice transfuse.
Doesn't get another one off on her, though. Looks like he's going to be able to target down yet another Hellbat here. Going to want to back up to the Spine Crawler now.
And, you know, with that queen range there, you can punish the Hellbats every time they try to turn around.
Yeah. Stab him right in the back.
And now we're going to have about 7 mutas coming up here. Maybe 8, maybe 9. Depending on how much gas he's actually banked up here. Whoa! Seriously? He didn't cancel that. I can't believe that. Wow,
yeah,
cool.
That's pretty surprising.
Yeah, no, wow, okay.
Well, the Spire is finishing up now.
It's heating up out
Looks
here.
like some muta's going to be made. It certainly is. It's summertime.
It is heating up out here.
And not a lot of anti-air right now for Fantasy. A single Viking. A missile turret being made. He's going to make multiple of those, but
Yeah,
ByuL's mutas are a little ways off. He started 4 and then waited a little bit for the
it's a
rest.
pretty long travel distance here too.
Yeah, it truly is. So I'm not too worried for Fantasy. He's definitely going to need to get a Thor out, though.
I wonder if he had more Lings, if there'd be any merit into getting like a Nidus like canal or something with the sending Lings in, Mutas and Lings, because when they go to go kind of mac up like this, they're really kind of hinging on the fact that they're walled in.
I think that would, like, maybe you could, like, make a one-time use all-in type of build like that.
Yeah, you know, like just
Because that's 300 gas, so it's like, yeah, you'd have to commit, like, really a lot to it, but maybe, like, in a situation like this,
It's like
he's
not
going to
the-
have almost nothing in his base, just like a Thor and a missile turret to hold everything off.
well, the third base is being made right now. I think if ByuL wins this, it's going to be a real testament to how good he is, because that Ling Rush didn't work and he lost his expansion hatchery.
We do have a Thor about to pop out, chasing down all of these Hellions at the moment.
It's kind of a funny looking game here. We don't normally see Mutas just chasing Hellions all over the place.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should see that more often, because a lot of these games, the mech player is just like roasting drones and sacrificing Hellions.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
But here, ByuL has been very much on top of preventing them from ever getting inside. Like, he chases them down as opposed to try to hit a depot and then run away from Thor fire, which is what we see a lot with mutas. So, I gotta say, maybe that's why we don't see it that often, and is because people are making mistakes.
Yeah, I think you're actually right about that.
That hitting a depot.
Now's where he should put his Nidus network. Okay, Zerg's going to take the gold base here, and I think this is really smart. I mean, if Terran's going to stay back, make Thors, Vikings, tanks, and Hellions, just take the gold. They can't attack you right away with this, right? So, I mean, it's definitely something you can do.
Well, you know what, Tasteless? Last season you got the silver. This space is going to be the gold for him. And if he can hold on to it, he should be able to take the game. But, you know, he's getting a really quick hive with this as well. Has some upgrades on the way. Not focusing as heavily on his upgrades right now as we sometimes see.
One of these maps Broodlords are quite strong on.
Oh, yeah, this map
This
is
is
really good for
great
Broodlords.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's... Against mech, to get into those Broodlords can be a little bit tricky, because they do get a lot of Vikings.
And the gold base is about to finish up here. Or is it timed out perfectly? Supplies right now, 134 to 136, so they're basically tied right now.
You know,
Gotta be careful when you do this, because you can end up with your Mutas getting boxed inside here.
That is true. This map doesn't have that much airspace really behind.
So the very slow Vikings basically one of the slowest units in the game, going to come up here. But in that amount of time, ByuL can actually get out here just fine. I mean, Vikings got great range, but they don't get places very quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty legit damage done. Fantasy has definitely done a better job this time of being kind of defended. Like, we aren't seeing just an attack into his third that's going to screw him over right now. We do have Vipers on the way, though, and as those Vipers pop out, you know, if your Siege Tanks aren't spread right, Blinding Clouds can mess up everything.
Well, the Hellions are looping around now, coming in over here. And I think so far, pretty stellar defense here. It would be interesting to see if those Hellions could get behind the minerals and actually take out those drones.
Yeah, I think they definitely can.
Oh, he's not going there. Okay.
All right, well, we'll chase them away for the time being, at least. Plenty of units coming up to chase them away. And we do have those Vipers out, Tasteless. We do have a max ByuL as well. This could be a timing that he wants to hit.
Yeah, this definitely could be one of those moments. I mean, I gotta say, ByuL's done a pretty good job considering how poorly the start of this game went with the Lings and that hatch getting killed. He seems to have all the tools necessary to at least fight head-on a mech army.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Oh, he should get those armories.
Oh, that would be amazing
that
to
would
kill
be
those.
Nasty.
That would seriously be so good. Well, the SCV's coming up. He's at least going to be able to kill off quite a few SCVs. And this draws the Vipers away, which means that he can hit in here, and there's much less targeting on top of these Vipers.
He needs those Blinding Clouds to go down.
All right, some pretty good Blinding Clouds
Problem is
overall.
there's these 2 tanks in the upper left there.
Yeah, they're spread really well. He can't actually get as much as he wants done here. And with that many buildings in the way as well.
are going to go down. Oh, my God, and this got so owned.
Yeah, that was some good defense. But you know what? He got both the armories. He did do that, Tasteless.
Yeah, and that's actually very important because this game should not be ending right away. Now we have their Thors in fetal position in the medevacs. Their little knees tucked up to their Thor tummies.
Hold on tight.
So if they drop their feet, they're going to drag on the ground. Look at that. Aren't they cute? Thors in medevacs. They look so cute.
They go into box form.
They go into fetal position when they're flying around.
They're the least exciting of the Transformers.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
It's like instead of being the car that you always wanted, it's like, no, it's just a metal box. Like a shipping container? Yeah, kind of, but you can't put anything in it.
Yeah, cargo freight.
Oh, this is really cute. Double Thor drop.
Look at that. What is this? 2011?
Yeah, it's
Remember when Thor drops were a thing?
some Thor droppery going on.
Look at that. Uh-oh. Careful. It's a long fall if you're in fetal position. Thor's like, I can't even swim. Oh, I'm going to fall in that water. Oh, my God. While this was going on, I didn't even notice this. He actually took the bottom left. When did that happen? I just could have shot him. There's like 5 turrets there, and tanks and gases have been taken and everything.
Yeah. By the way, I want to mention that out of all the maps, this map, aesthetically speaking, becomes the most improved by creep spread. It looks beautiful with a great creep spread. It
looks a lot better in purple. It wears purple well.
Look, yeah, and it's like it really truly shows you where the creep spread is and is not. Like, see the green? Yeah, it's not there. See purple? That's exactly where it is.
Uh-oh, no Thors here. The question now is, when the Hellbats are inside the medevac, do they too have to enter fetal position?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Can't be too much room in there. They look like big units when they're on the ground, Artosis.
Yeah. Well, that's why you can only fit 2.
Yep.
Oh, Chop doing a good job.
Wow,
okay,
this
is not going to work.
Actually,
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, we got to see what's actually coming down up here. Okay, yeah, that's enough. He's got enough tanks there.
Yeah, it's like he didn't really even kill that much there, and he's taking damage at this gold base. This is looking worse and worse for ByuL as we move forward here. It's just sacrificing a lot of units. Thing is, ByuL has an insane economy still, an insane bank rather, I guess. He's actually losing big chunks of his economy at the moment, but he can remax rather quickly.
And this is going to trigger, it looks like, the counter push. Or maybe not. He's actually backing up now. It looked like he was going to go across the map there. And you notice this base is not even being used really to mine minerals. It's just to get gas. You really just need gas. Well, you need minerals, but it's much more important to prioritize
Yeah,
gas and expansions.
Gas is definitely the important thing at this point. He's got to get out the right types of tech units that he wants.
Well,
he's still just sitting on Roach Hydra for the time being. He's getting air attack, so that's pretty cool.
Wow, and this dies quite quickly. But, you know, Terran's sitting on the gold base. Uh-oh, Artosis. It's time for cattle bruisers.
It's time.
It's time. Late game.
Yeah, there's in some matchups 22 minutes considered late game.
Yep.
Not right now in ZVT.
No, this is mid game for the way ZVT meta is looking.
Well, it looks like we're gonna have these Roaches and Hydras kind of harass this morphing planetary. Turns out Hellbats can't shoot over it, so he's going to lose that.
So we can resolve that dispute. For those of you guys who weren't sure if the Hellbats can shoot over the planetary, the answer's no.
And looks like he's going to break through quite a bit here, but, you know, getting back those Sea Chanks. Ooh, some very good blind
let's
piles.
remember that actually he did a great job taking out those 2 armories, so I think the upgrade advantage is just here for Zerg.
Yeah, it took a while for him to actually get back into his upgrades. He's not even at +2 armor yet.
It's now 12 tanks. So a good number of tanks are picked off there.
Yeah, and
you need to have those tanks or you can't even switch into this.
His anti-air consists of a Thor and 6 Vikings. Of course, Gil doesn't know exactly what it is, but in a situation like that, there's always a possibility to switch back into something like Mutas. Like if he just made like all of his bank into Mutas right there, instead of making Ultras, he might have been able to get something done with that.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
You take out that single Thor, I mean 6 Vikings, they're going to have to kite you for years.
They're not that good at kiting either.
Certainly not winning any kiting competitions.
No. Well, the Spire's about to be done here. Second one, I believe. And so, let's see. I mean, with that number of tanks picked off, there might be a window where he can attack in here. Zerg is maxed out again. There's a lot of Ultralisks here as well.
One more siege tanks being added in.
Oh, driving him back there.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where you'd want to attack with Ultras right now.
The problem is, oh my god, yeah, if you have tanks on the other side of that, I don't know if you can kill anything. Unless the Ultralists can parkour over the mineral patches, and I don't think they have an upgrade for that.
They should be able to jump over things. Well, it looks like he's going to go ahead and pull some tanks in here.
Unfortunately, he should have been pulling the tanks that were on the other side over there. Now, he will get the planetary in a matter of seconds. It goes down.
Yeah, continue to push forward right now, picking off a lot of siege tanks, kind of fighting head-to-head against this mech. Not completely siege up his fantasy. He's going to have to pull back here. ByuL doing a good job pushing forward during this battlecruiser transition.
He can actually get over here. How many battlecruisers are out now? I got to use your PC for a second.
Yeah, none yet.
None yet.
There's 4 building. Only they're not even really close to being done. 2 are a little bit closer, but.
Oh my gosh! And for the tank count, it is 7 tanks.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of a hard time.
Man,
he just landed his Vikings against Hydra Ultra. That's never a good sign.
Let's see if Vikings can beat Hydra Ultra, guys. Oh, no, they can't.
No.
Okay, well, we're getting a lot of StarCraft questions answered here.
Yeah.
So, he took out that gold base. Oh, these guys aren't doing anything. He took out that gold base. I believe the bottom left should be reasonably vulnerable. And if I'm correct, I'm sorry, I got to keep asking you to check this. Can you check on the preview PC? The Stargates. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry, where are the starports located?
Starports should be towards the natural.
I actually thought they were that blue block on the bottom left. No, hugging the wall, but that's actually command centers being made there. Because I was going to say, if he gets over there and makes the starports lift, that would be really bad.
Yeah, that certainly would be. But Fantasy is going to go ahead and get some of these out. But at this point, I feel like ByuL just has complete control of this game. Fantasy is spreading himself a little bit too thin all over the place.
By the way, you can really see the difference in ability to handle mech when you compare ByuL to Sleep. It's like night and day.
Yeah, it certainly is. And you can actually see the difference between mech quality between Flash and Fantasy. That's
that's a really good point.
I'd love to see ByuL go up against what Flash was doing and Flash's execution of it. The thing is, we're watching Fantasy. He's like 50 missile turrets short right now. How are you supposed to? How are you supposed to beat all these ultras up 50 more missile turrets?
That is true. You want so many missile turrets. You're using them like walls for a depot or depot walls. Okay, so now he's forced that expansion to be decimated. He's going to rotate up here into the natural, and I think the follow-up attack when he makes more attacking units probably would be to go down to the bottom left.
But yeah, at this point, he's just like killing stuff left and right. ByuL is playing with his food at this point. A lot of corruptors coming across the map, and this game is going to end pretty soon. Like there's not a lot left for Fantasy to do.
I mean, Mech is so strong, but one problem with it is it can be a bit of a house of cards. You'll lose a chunk of tanks, and you really can't control the map. The Zerg gets to walk all over you, and you basically have to be a perfect Godman King human like Flash to just get that the whole way through. GG! ByuL crushes Fantasy and moves on to the round of 16. Will this be the GSL that he's going to win? Who knows?
Could be. He's playing very, very well, Tasteless. Yeah, he got second place in the group to Deer, but some really strong play against Fantasy here in this last match. Some great play, of course, against Sleep to open. And I got to say, I'm very happy to have ByuL moving forward.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So ByuL flexing his Zerg muscle and saying, hey, I'm not scared of that mech play. I find the weakness, and I go for the kill. Fantasy, got to be a sad moment here. By the way, got to be an exhausting day for him. He had some long games today.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's been playing quite some time, but unfortunately, he's going to have to go home, wait for Code A. But you know what? He's on Dead Pixels. He gets to travel. He gets to do some of these international events.
It's not an entirely sad story.
He's having more and more success as well since he did leave SKT1, which is a very rare thing, but it's working out for him so far.
This guy was somebody who didn't see a lot of success until the twilight of StarCraft Brood War, until it was very late in the game. Well, guys, crazy games today. Great music today for the GSL as well. Now we're going to go to an interview. Gary says this is our second player to advance to the round of 16. Congratulations. He says thank you.
제가 정확하게 맞췄나요?
You kind of seem disappointed because you got second in the group. He says, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with my play today.
경기에서 그럼 어떤 점이 가장 많이 아쉬우세요?
What was the most disappointing thing then when you played against Deer?
이제 아예 다 안 하고 다 생각하면서 했는데.
Well, Deer played a very greedy game.
좀 아쉬워요.
And it was greedier than I expected.
사실 2세트에서 광자포 러쉬를 막으면서 너무나 기분 좋게 출발해서
You defended the cannon rush in the second set.
완전히 넘어왔나 싶었어요. 그 세트 때는 확실히 기분이 좋으셨죠?
기분 좋았는데 근데
Were you happy playing in the third set
잘
then?
막은 편이 아니어가지고 상황이 엄청 좋지는 않더라고요.
Well, I could have defended that better, so I actually wasn't too satisfied with my defense there.
깜짝 땅굴 발동 업그레이드한 바퀴로 이득을 보려고 하셨던 것 같은데 뭐가 그때 조금 아쉬웠던
So you went for the Brood Roaches in the third set. What was the problem?
그냥 너무 무리했던 것 같아요. 그냥
I think I was too aggressive with my Roaches.
뛰었어야 되는데 괜히 다가가지고.
I think I should have gone for Muta.
그래서 정면 싸움에서 조금 힘이 좀 약했었던 걸까요?
네. 그리고 오늘 경기들이 다 왠지
So yeah, my army was weakened in the massive engagement.
네.
왜 그런지는 모르겠는데.
내일 또 테란전이 기다리고 있고 그래서 그랬던 걸까요?
So tomorrow you have a ZET coming up, is that right?
네.
Yes.
그래도 이 마지막 정명 선수와
And I've been having a pretty brutal schedule recently. I'm actually playing 3 important matches in a row. 3 days in a row, excuse me.
고비가 있었어요? 그래도 한 세트 내줬으니까 거기서 아쉬우셨나요?
테란전이요?
네, 마지막 정명 선수.
첫 경기 할 때 예상을 못했는데 그래도
Tell us about the match against Fantasy.
네.
막을 수 있어요.
Well, I was able to scout the proxy racks in the
그쵸,
first
한지호
set.
선수 보면 사실 오늘 광자포
And that
러시도
gave me
많이
the momentum to
당해보신
win
분
the match
같고
against him there.
벙커링도 많이
It was done once his
당해보신 분
bunker rush
같아요.
failed.
다 너무 잘 막으셨어요. 나중에 그 벙커링을
So you defended that bunker rush really well.
꾸준히 찍으시더라고요.
Have you experienced that rush a
많이
lot?
당해보셨나봐요.
원래 저거는 많이 당하면서.
It's like, no, it's the first time I've seen it.
네.
He says every Zerg has to play against that build a lot.
많이
He says every Zerg should be well prepared against that bunker rush.
에서도 서로 호수비를 좀 보여줬었잖아요.
Is it true
I would
Gary's not
troll Gary
master?
so hard with a
먼저
question like
저번에
that.
한번 밀어붙였었는데
Like, I thought he was really original doing a double barracks proxy. I've never seen that before. I've never even...
마지막에
I think I heard about it once, like years ago, but it's really interesting that he brought that out.
선수가 굉장히 단단하게 잘 막으셨어요.
네.
그때는 어땠나요? 정명 선수 왜 이렇게
So you were able to win against that Mex player in the final set.
네.
아 이거 지겠구나 했는데
네.
정명 선수가 또 와줘가지고 제가 또
So when
해맑았거든요.
my massively good attack got defended perfectly by Fantasy, I thought I was in a huge deficit and I was probably going to lose the set.
좀
But I was able to
압박이
stabilize the game and come back.
심하게 이렇게 최종전 마지막 세트까지 와서 흔들리면 아, 나 떨어졌다 이런 생각 들 것 같아요.
네, 그런데 이제 모르겠어요. 저도
하다 보니?
네. 열심히 하다 보니까 이긴 것 같아요.
네, 아니 이렇게 흔들리시면 어떡해요? 저희 준우승
I basically just did my best to finish out the set strong.
위기를 거치시면 안 되죠.
And it just worked out. That's it.
저그가 좋은 종족이 아니기 때문에
지금 저거 종족의 탓을 돌리시는 거예요?
He said lately
저도
Zerg's been having a pretty hard time.
저그도 안 좋은 것 같기도 하고.
네.
네.
앞으로는
He says he
더
actually
좋은
thinks Zerg is the
경기가
weakest
보여주실
race
거라고
right now.
믿는데 조지명 씨
Take that, whining Terrans.
조지병식은
네.
저번
even they
시즌에 제가
agree at the
팀킬을 나왔잖아요.
Yeah.
그래서
네.
제가 준호를 떨어뜨리고 8강을 갔는데
So last season I had the team kill in the round of 16. So my goal in this group selection is to avoid
오, 네, 말
killing any of my own
잘하셨습니다. 이번
teammates.
시즌은 각오부터가 다른데요. 자, 이번 시즌은 우승하셔야죠.
우승해야죠.
그렇죠, 마지막인데.
네.
네.
So ByuL, is this going to be your
한지원
season to
선수
become a
각오를
champion? It's the
마지막으로
last season of this year.
들어보겠습니다.
이번 시즌
Yeah, this is-
힘들게 올라왔는데 이번 시즌
It's been a hard road for me.
보다 더 나은 성적으로 우승으로
I'll try to do
보답하도록
better than the previous season.
네, 알겠습니다. 다시
Which
한번
is to become a champion.
축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
네. 자, 이렇게 F조의 두 번째 16강 진출자 한지원 선수입니다.
That does it, guys. ByuL goes on. I really want to see how far he can get. It was an emotional GSL Code S finals that we had previously here, and maybe he'll be able to make it out this time.
Well, we'll see about that. Deer getting through in first place, kind of a little bit of a surprise to me. I really thought ByuL would take it, but
Yeah, but hey, can't be angry with the two players that moved on.
Oh, I think they're the best two players in this group. Sleep had a tough start to the day, guys.
He did.
He brought it back at the end, really showed that he is a Code S quality player,
I hope
even
to
if one
see
of the
some
lower
more of him in
ones.
the future here.
I hope so. He's a good guy, man. Met him before in the past. A good guy, a good player. He's been around a long time, but we'll see, man, if he can get through Code A next time. But it turned out to be an okay day, but
Yeah.
I would say one of the weaker days so far this season.
We had some wonky games here.
Yeah.
But the results were interesting. It's cool to see this mech style starting to pick up, meching into battle cruisers. And we'll see how long it stays like that. But yeah, interesting day. Some funky results, some funky games. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us here at the GSL Code S. We are going to be back on Friday. Well, GSL Code S will be back on Friday. We will have the day off. So definitely tune in. Don't miss out. And keep watching the rest of the season. It's going to be so far it's been the best season we've had. And I mean, with as competitive as it's been, should be the best finals as well. Anyways, we love you guys. Take care. Good night.